At this time, firefighter Christiana will sound 4 sets of 5 bells as the last call. Will everybody please join me for 1 minute of silence? Thank you. At this time, the firefighter's prayer will be read.
When I am called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me the strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Help me embrace a little child before it is too late, or save an older person from horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling to give the best in me to guard my friend and neighbor and protect his property. And if according to your will I must answer death's call, blessed with your protecting hand, my family, one and all.
Thank you, Deputy. At this time, the police chief will read the police officer's prayer.
Lord, I ask for courage. Courage to face and conquer my fears. Courage to take me where others will not go. I ask for strength. Strength of body to protect others. Strength of spirit to lead others. I ask for dedication. Dedication to my job to do it well. Dedication to my community to keep it safe. Give me, Lord, concern for others who trust me and compassion for those who need me. And please, Lord, through it all, be at my side.
Thank you, Chief. Once again, firefighter Christiana will sound the 4 sets of 5 bells as the last call. Thank you. At this time, Nancy Cook will now read the poem 1 by Cheryl Sawyer in memory of all who perished that fateful day 16 years ago today.
As the soot and dirt and ash rained down, we became one color. As we carried each other down the stairs of burning buildings, we became one class. As we lit candles of waiting and hope, we became one generation. As the firefighters, police officers fought their way into the inferno, we became one gender. As we fell to our knees in prayer for strength, we became one faith. As we whispered or shouted words of encouragement, we spoke one language. As we gave our blood in lines a mile long, we became one body. As we mourned together the great loss, we became one family. As we cried tears of grief and loss, we became one soul. As we retell with pride of the sacrifices of heroes, we became one people. We are one color, one class, one generation, one gender. one faith, one language, one body, one family, one soul, one people. We are the power of one. We are united. We are the United States of America.
At this time, I would like to introduce State Representative Jim Arciero with some parting words.
Today marks the 16th anniversary of that fateful day in 2001, when events in New York City, Arlington, Virginia, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania would change the United States of America forever. That dark day when nearly 3,000 Americans would perish in unthinkable ways, when buildings we thought would last forever would fall in hours, when the center of our military might, the Pentagon, would be struck, and when everyday passengers on an airplane would become American heroes by sacrificing themselves to protect the lives of others. That day would ultimately lead to the war in the Middle East, where thousands of brave American men and women would answer their nation's call to service. September 11th, 2001 also hit us here in Westford, when we lose two of our very own, Susan McKay and James Hayden, who were on Flight 11 and Flight 175 that crashed into the World Trade Center. We honor those courageous men and women who put themselves in harm's way, and those who sacrificed their own lives to help people that they never knew. The first responders, the police and the firefighters, those brave men and women who led our efforts following these tragic events, followed by our uniformed brothers and sisters who took up arms against the perpetrators. September 11, 2001 is a dark day in the history of our nation that should never, never be forgotten. 16 years may seem like a long time, but for those families of the victims left behind, their loss and their pain have not receded. Never could they have thought on that particular September morning they would be seeing their father or mother, sister or brother, son or daughter for the very last time. Never be given a chance to say a final goodbye or give a final embrace. It is our responsibility to be mindful that no words of condolence or acts of remembrance can ever fully heal or erase the pain of their loss. Here in Westford and across our great nation, we will never forget the lives lost on that fateful day. May God bless you and your families, all those precious souls lost on September 11th, 2001, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
This time, I'd like to introduce our Board of Chairman Selectmen Chairman, Andrea Perna-Sweet.
No day shall erase you from the memory of time. For any of you who have been to the 9/11 Memorial in New York City, that is the phrase that adorns the concrete wall that separates visitors to the memorial from the remains of 8,000 unidentified individuals. It was constructed from the steel of the Twin Towers in 15-foot letters. The quote speaks to the indelible nature of the memories and of our memories. A single day will not erase those memories. And in fact, 16 years later, here in Westford, just as in many small communities around the nation and in our great cities around the nation, we stand here to once again commemorate the lives of almost 3,000 people who were lost that day. Of those 3,000 people, we remember them 16 years later, including 343 New York Fire Department members, 60 members of the New York Police Department and Port Authority Department, and 8 EMTs or paramedics, all of whom lost their lives that day, running into a terror that none of us can ever imagine. We stand here today to make sure that they know, that their families know, that their relatives know, that the world knows that no day will erase their memory, that we will remember them always, and that they will always be a part of the fabric of the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you all. This concludes this morning's service. Please note, as you're driving throughout the Commonwealth and throughout the United States, that the number of flags that are at half-staff and in front of all city halls and government buildings throughout the Commonwealth. Thank you for attending.